I'm Anna Marie, and I am one of your hosts of our brand new show called the Center Spot Gazette. And with me is my fabulous co-host and co-creator, Douglas.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
We're so excited to have you here with us on our show, and we're basically going to take you on a small adventure through creativity. Our mission with this show is to inspire you to be creative, and in general, to inspire, encourage, and celebrate creativity of all kinds. And so, with that, we're going to have a conversation. And starting today with the launch of this new show, we want to give you kind of some background on why we're doing this. So, we talked a lot about this, and this actual show has evolved a lot from its original inception, which was kind of born out of the pandemic, to be honest. Being a creator, it's really hard to not create. And I found myself turning to Instagram to do some creative postings and to develop a platform to celebrate art. Even though artists, musicians, painters, entrepreneurs, small business owners were not thriving. So we had a big conversation about that. Remember?
Yeah. So people that were doing music, so for example, I'm in a band. My band's called Douglas von Irvin's Carnival, and you've seen us. Anyway, what happened was we had a great big plan to take over the world with the regular way of doing music, which is live appearances, and we shut that down. So we had to go online and work out all that social media and come up in that direction. So we shifted gears and held on to our dreams. We held on to our goals. We didn't stop. We just shifted gears and ran over to the online presence and worked on that online work so much. And so there's a bunch of us.
Yeah. And with that, I know that even through the pandemic, I know that you developed a lot of material and content preparing for COVID to end, basically, preparing for what was going to happen when we were able to get back out there. Is there anything that you can tell us? So yeah, just so you all know out there, both Douglas and I are artists, and Douglas, as he mentioned a minute ago, is he has a band, and during the pandemic was doing a lot of basically seed planting, so that way by the time we rose up out of this pandemic, which fortunately we are now, you've got some cool projects going. So tell us a little bit about your what you developed during the pandemic.
During the pandemic,
during the phase where we couldn't see anybody,
we continued to record. We worked remotely, and there was some really great jumps in software and the technology to do it. So I was able to record parts, and what they did was we were able to record in my home studio, and they could hear clearly what I was playing. Right. So the producer down in LA through big speakers in real studio was listening to what I was doing.
That's so cool.
And coaching me.
Great.
Like he was in the room.
So that prepared you for a video that you created, which we're going to take a look at in just a minute. So hang on there, and you're going to see some of the creative work from Douglas.
Now, we've all seen werewolves go crazy, but have you ever seen two vampires go vegan? Next up, we have a star-crossed couple that are working hard to break a curse.
Your knife in my heart. I'm tired of leaving this world behind. ride for the rest of our lives. And in the morning, we will open our eyes and walk in the sun. A day of reckoning, our light will return when the curse is undone. I'm tired of leaving this world behind. I'm searching for the sunrise we're desperate to find. I'm tired of leaving this world behind. Keep searching for the sunrise we're destined to find. We've got to learn to live and give. Live and give.
So I want to talk about the video, the one that we just showed all of you out there. It is super cool, and I want to know what was the inspiration behind that.
So back to, as far as the video goes, we had those in the can and ready for release in 2020. We went down to Los Angeles and rented a home, and we were down there. The biggest inspiration for the writing of the lyrics of that song was I had noticed that there are some people that run around that are kind of energy vampires. They take a lot, and so you've had those you've had a conversation where you're talking to someone, and you feel tired.
Right. Exactly.
Right after
Yeah.
the conversation. So, what I like to do is take a gothic subject like vampires and bring them into a more contemporary place like a now, and sneak in a little message about, like, maybe be nice to other people, maybe pay attention to other people and give rather than taking. And maybe the fact that all that energy of taking, maybe that's the curse.
That's interesting.
And so that's where I come up with, maybe that's the curse. Maybe if you start giving, you break that curse, and you can go out for the sunrise, you
That's
know,
so cool.
and go out there in it. And as far as the video goes, there is a film called After Dark, and it's a contemporary vampire film where they run around during the day, but they have a van that's all taped up so the sun can't get in the van if they have to move. And when we made the video, it's contemporary times. We're in a house near Pasadena, just a regular 70s track home. And that's where I'm singing and doing the things. And there's the mannequins that are kind of spirits in there and all that. And we chose that because I just love that movie Near Dark a lot. And so we just chose the contemporary vampire, anywhere, anytime type of thing.
Great. So one of the things that I was curious about is you have a definite flair, definite style. There's kind of a through line that goes through your work, both musically and visually. Can you tell us a little bit about your inspiration? Who's inspired you?
So we're very eclectic. So I'm inspired musically as a 70s kid, seeing Queen, the Ramones, and Bad Company, you know, just all kinds of things. But the thing that inspires me the most would be the bands that give you something to look at. So when we saw MTV, remember MTV?
Yes, I remember the first MTV. I'm kind of there with you. We're old. We're not. It's never too late.
First MTV video.
Yeah.
What do you got? Do you remember it?
The very first MTV video, I remember the guy on the what was the first
The
one?
Buggles.
The Buggles.
Video killed the radio star.
Video killed the radio. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we were recording in Modesto area.
Mm-hmm.
We were recording a single in the other band I was in, and got home and about just a few hours late. I didn't get to see the first video, but I got to see MTV, and we stayed up basically all night watching it. So I love visuals. That's what's inspired me in music. I think when you ask somebody to come look at something, give them something to look at.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you've got to. So Kiss, that band Kiss with all the
Yeah.
fireworks
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
But it was Elton John and Kiss for me. Elton John and Kiss. If Elton John still, even though he was Danielle, Your Song, all those beautiful, up there with Neil Diamond lyrically, up there with anybody lyrically. But he still gave him a show.
Right. Right.
So he had his message.
Yeah, it's really cool. Going back to videos and MTV, and it's also really interesting to see the artist's interpretation of their music, to bring it alive visually. Because prior to seeing a video of music, you hear it, and the audience is left to imagine what they interpret it as, which is great. You want to be able to do that too. But it's always fun to see what is the inspiration behind the music that pops out visually through a creation of a video.
Yeah, so mine would be definitely the classic horror films. I'm not a slasher guy. I don't like Freddy Krueger stuff. I don't like anybody actually getting hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like the Wolfman, the black and white, the old ones.
Right.
Where,
Yeah.
it was just classic.
That brings me to my next thing. You have developed basically your own kind of musical genre based on Monster
Garage Pop.
Monster Garage Pop.
That's the name
I
of
don't
it.
know if anybody else out there is doing Monster Garage Pop, but I think you've coined that genre phrase.
Yes, it was my guitar player's wife.
Really?
It was Christy.
I didn't know that. Christy?
Yeah, Christy said, you know what Doug
Good
does?
old Christy. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one day at rehearsal, they're like, this is your genre.
That's awesome. That's cool. That's a neat
Yeah.
little backstory. The other thing about your video, you kind of present yourself as a host, both for your video, but also for your band. You are not just popping out there as the singer. There's a whole performance based around this. So
Yes.
tell me about, because I'm sure other people might be curious. What's
So
your intention?
my character is Douglas Von Irvin, and the band's called Douglas Von Irvin's Carnival. So with our lyric content and our songs, I'll pick up a thing like the most recent one was a three-headed monster, and so I pick up monster themes, vampires, three-headed monster. So for example, this three-headed monster. So I could go all Rob Zombie or something really scary, and go like three-headed monster, macho, But I sneak in the fact that, to get along in this world, collaboration is you get more done.
Yes.
With a group of people.
And it's
a
more
team.
creative. But you get ideas like if you come to the table with, this is my plan, but then other people are able and feel comfortable enough to pop in with their ideas, it blossoms into something even better.
So I put that in my song, like Elton John with his serious nature about whatever. He wrote so many songs, but one of his tearjerkers, I took my message of loving the teamwork of a collaboration. So my song, Three Heads Are Better Than One. So that's, I'll take these characters. So back to my whole Douglas Von Irvin's Carnival. I'm the ringleader. I introduce a three-headed monster and sneak in a message in the song. So that's basically the whole theme of it. And when we were conceiving this, my songwriting partner, we call him Dr. Preisenstein. That's his character. So Dr. Preisenstein he's the arranger, and he helps with lyrics too. And then our manager at the time, but our producer, who still works with me now, is Matt Starr. And Matt Starr is the drummer, the current drummer for Ace Frehley of Kiss. And he worked with Mr. Big, and he's a world-renowned guy, Matt Starr. So they said, well, we're going to have you be like more of a host to this. And born out of that was I actually, pre-COVID, it got canceled. I was showing a film at Art Boutique in San Jose. They show films sometimes.
Yeah.
And I was like Bob Wilkins,
Oh, right.
Goulardi, Goulardi, and there was the other guy in Detroit, the Ghoul.
Okay.
So these guys, horror movie hosts.
yeah.
So that was part of my whole thing. And like I said, it got canceled with COVID. The film I was presenting was called Velociraptor.
I remember.
Or no. Velocipastor.
That's right. I do remember that pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So that host of the scary movie genre, that kind of shows up in your video a little bit.
Yeah, we shot each of those 5 videos with an intro from me in costume, goofing off, and all that. But that's why I'm here. That's why I've decided to go on this journey with you, with the co-producing and co-hosting.
Right.
Is that I was already ready to do it. And like I said, with COVID, we were going to go to podcasts. I don't listen to podcasts. I like podcasts where people are talking.
This is super timely because, yes, so out of COVID, you were doing your creative project. I was doing mine. And then literally out of the blue, I get a message from my good friend Tom. And Tom and I go way back to a show I had a long time ago, which is basically the same genre, celebrating creativity and, inspiring artists. But he said, hey, how do you feel about relaunching a production again? And it was like a blessing because, yes, totally ready with what you have been working on, with what I've been working on. It was like a groundswell. And then all of these people coming together to make all this happen. I mean, it doesn't happen by itself at all. We need everybody's creative input, technical input, ideas, and, basically, yeah, so the collaborative process is super key to making any of this happen, and I'm really glad it's happening now. And we want to inspire others out there. The whole intention of this show is kind of like the 3 heads are better than one.
Yeah.
We want to find more people out there who are doing something really creative that we can bring on here, and we can share what they're doing and ultimately inspire other people to do whatever it is they're doing.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
In my scene here down in South San, South San Jose, but we're definitely all over the Bay Area, and I like going out and seeing all the bands. I've got quite a few artists friends, and so that's what we're going to be bringing to this show is art. What do you call them? Restaurateurs?
Yeah. Restaurateurs, entrepreneurs, creatives of all kinds, and that's our intention with this show. Our intention is to make sure that we are celebrating all of the creative people out there and help to bring them up and rise up, especially post COVID. I know we're not really out of the whole COVID thing yet, but we're out of the scary part, I think. All right, at least my perception. And that's it for right now. For this part, we're going to launch into something else now.
Okay.
We are here tonight at the Ritz, one and only Ritz, here in San Jose, California. It's a hometown show, and we're very, very excited to be playing this. I'm very, very honored.
And who are you? Who are you?
Oh, I'm Alex. I play in the band Douglas Wonder. It's Carnival. This is the man, the myth, the legend.
We're backstage right now getting ready, and we just went over our set list. We got really good news. We're gonna extend it tonight. It's gonna be. I can't talk about it. It's so exciting. So usually I found, because your lead singers moved out of the state with the pandemic. They all took off. And
Yep.
so you guys were in, what band were you in, Mark? What was it called?
We were in a band called Private Label.
Private Label.
Yeah.
And then you guys went out and did Glory for a moment too, right?
I was in a band called
Yep.
Glory. Yeah.
And then we were with Manic as well. We did like a show that was really good, and we were going to maybe start that thing up again too. And then people left town. COVID hit. One guy went to Lake Tahoe. The other one went to Placerville.
So I lucked out and bought these puppies at the pound. They were cheap.
It's very
And
sad.
so now I've got the best backup band I've ever had
Gave us a bath.
with you guys.
Defleet us.
Yeah.
And
There was, yeah, and the potty mouth. That was
Right.
the thing with you.
And to me, it's enjoyable because Doug and I have been playing forever. I mean, ever since we were 70s. And
well, ever since we were, I think I was just barely, I was 18.
right.
And yeah.
And so we have so much history with these guys. With John, I've played with John since the 80s, 90s,
Yeah.
actually,
It's been a
right around the
fun
90s.
ride.
And so we've done lots of projects together. And I don't know, we're friends first.
Yeah.
And we know each other's on-stage language, I think. So
Yeah.
we just kind of melt together.
Yeah. There's no drama in this band.
Oh.
It's
Just
a
me.
lot of
I
drama.
bring a little bit. I do. I can't help it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, someone's got to do it.
yeah someone's got
The Carnival souls
Keeps
don't
the
mind.
tension. It's good. But
Yeah.
we have
It
fun.
really is just fun though, and that's the main thing. We're having fun. It shows on stage, and we're just having a ball.
Yeah, we come in and just take the covers on that. Hey! And we've got more guests coming in.
Yes.
We've got our newest member is Alex. Now, Alex is another story where we all met him. Like we
Yeah.
met him taking care of our gear.
Right?
Yeah.
Reenactment. This
So
is
we're
a
just-
reenactment.
So we're
Come
just
on in.
All right, you guys ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, let's rock and roll.
All right. So what we just saw was a small bit of basically Douglas von Irvin's Carnival. Some of the people involved, one of the venues, we were out at the Ritz in San Jose a couple weeks ago. And I was really happy to be able to meet all the band members and talk with them. Can you tell me a little bit about how you all came together?
Well, this goes to the pandemic.
See, good things did happen.
They sure
you have to
did.
look for it, but there were some good things that came.
Yes. So what had happened was we weren't doing any live performances, and we were working on working on songs and studio work, and then things slowly opened up. And what was really neat is that my band, the reason why they wear masks is that it's a revolving door. When we played in Los Angeles and played at the Viper Room, we had Liz Fair, the artist keyboardist, playing with us, and the drummer, Steven, I can't remember his last name right now, but he worked with Enough's Enough, a metal band back in the late 80s, early 90s. So we wear masks just to keep people guessing what the heck's going on.
Works.
So what happened was we popped up it was spring 2021, and we were the first event. They had the Sofa Festival in downtown San Jose, and it was just opened.
Yeah.
The food trucks, the state of California was just opening.
Well, I am so happy we had a chance to talk with you. And again, Douglas from Douglas Von Irvin's Carnival is going to be featured, as well as me, episode to episode, so we can share with you and inspire, encourage, and celebrate creativity and the creative process. So thank you for joining us, and we're excited to see you next time.